accordance with the Texas Open Meeting Act, I hereby convene this meeting of the Board of Directors of the LCRA Transmission Services Corporation. Today is Wednesday, June 17th, 2026, and the time is 11:47. A quorum is present, and the General Counsel will record each director who is in attendance. Do we have any guests with us today? I believe so. If you'd like to make a comment on LCRA TSC matters, please sign up in the lobby. I jumped ahead as usual. I'm not good at following instructions. I've already introduced Mr. Rudy Garza. He's back there paying attention. You keeping notes back there? Okay.
He's looking at his book.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Anyway, we're going to have an opportunity to visit with him a little more in the future here at lunch. Comments, we'll now open the floor for any public comments. Do we have any public comments? No guests, no comments. Okay. Got that going. Okay, we're going to take up our consent items, and that's on pages 6 through 16. On page 6. Had a chance to, or like to look at it, have a chance to review it. Any further questions, comments?
No.
All in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Okay, we'll now move on to the action items. Item 5, acquisition of interest in real property, use of eminent domain in Bastrop County. Mr. Mark Summerall, you're not ever busy, are you, Mark?
Never.
Why don't you take Curtis with you, you know?
And I must say, I have an outstanding team to help me get all the work done, that is for sure. Well, good morning, Chair Cooper, members of the board. The real estate agenda item before you is a request for the authorization to use the power of eminent domain in Bastrop County in support of the Ostrop to Garfield transmission line upgrade project. This project will provide for the continued safe and reliable transmission of electric energy on the Ostrop to Garfield T185 and T182 transmission lines. The proposal before you this morning includes one easement amendment needed for that project. We're amending the structure, in this example, we are amending for structure type limitations and the number of allowable structures within the current easement corridor. Initial offers have been made to the landowner based on a third-party appraisal of those land rights needed, and we seek board authorization to proceed with condemnation only if an agreement cannot be reached. Staff recommends approval of this item, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
I only have one, Mark.
Yes, sir.
I never heard of a community called Ostrop, and I live out there. Where did that name come from?
Chris, you can help me with that.
So the T-line upgrade project is called out by its endpoints, and Ostrop is a substation that is between Austin and Bastrop. And so back in the day, some very clever planners came up with that name, and that's how we got where we are.
Yeah.
Great question.
I figured as much. I was just jerking your chain.
With that being said, since it's your county, you want to take the beating, you want to make a motion?
I'm so moved.
Second.
Okay, any further questions or discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, thank you, Mark. Appreciate all you do, buddy. Okay, we'll move on to item 6, pages 25 through 20, capital improvement projects approval. Mr. Josh Cole.
Josh
Tell
is
me
back
you
from
need some money,
vacation.
are you?
Good morning. How
Morning.
are you?
Put him back to
Chair
work.
Cooper, members of the board. Yeah, I took a couple of weeks off, and I appreciate y'all approving the capital plan while I was eating my way through Italy. That'll allow us to go do these necessary projects. So I've got agenda item number 6, as you noted on page 25, and I've got 9 projects. I guess we didn't do a whole lot while I was gone, so they've left them for me. 2 service reliability, 6 system capacity projects, and then we've got our annual project for our general additions authorization. Just as a reminder, after you approve the business capital plan, again, as you thankfully did last month, we'll bring individual projects to you for your consideration for approval once we have further refined the scopes, designs, and cost estimates. Upon approval, construction, and completion of these projects, we will submit them to the Public Utility Commission of Texas for inclusion in our regulated rates. With that, I'll jump in. Please stop me as we go. First up, we've got the grounding FY 2025 substation upgrade project. It's one of our annual system maintenance and reliability projects where we'll look across the system, identify needs. This one will address grounding needs at 5 substations located in Austin, Colorado, and Fayette counties. This will install ground leads, ground grids, copper conductor, and then some site grading improvements where necessary. Recommended project completion date is June 30th of 2027 with an estimated cost of $6.8 million. Second, I've got the McCamey Field Office Facilities Upgrade Project. This will increase our operational flexibility and readiness that are needed to meet the growing demands of a system that's growing, particularly in those areas. There's an existing office in Upton County that's just south of McCamey off Highway 205. This will reconfigure that office to allow more staff to sit there, house 6 permanent folks, and flex space for additional teams as needed. Upgrade the electrical equipment and build new covered parking for necessary equipment out there. We'll also be upgrading the network and physical security systems at that facility. Recommended completion date is June 30th of 2030 with an estimated cost of $1.8 million. Third up, I've got the Ostrop to Garfield transmission line upgrade, as we talked about previously. I'm going to move to Ostrop if it ever gets built. This project will increase the reliability and capacity of a roughly 8.3-mile line, 345 kilovolt transmission line that runs between the Ostrop and Garfield substations. This is roughly runs southwest from the Weberville area down just south of 71, east of Highway 130, and this will help the growing power needs in that area. Notably, because of those growing needs, we don't have a great line of sight to getting the necessary outage work to do this work, so we're planning to do portions of this energized, which means we'll need the specialty crews and specialty equipment to do that. The scope, this cost estimate includes that necessary work. This will upgrade existing conductors, structures, optical ground wire, OPGW, or fiber, as well as related equipment at each of those 2 substations. Recommended completion date is June 30th of 2027, and the estimated cost is $64.4 million.
Is that part of Tesla and all the things Musk is doing? Is that why this is being rolled out, this particular project? I'm just kind of curious.
Not directly. It's really growth in the whole corridor. This is a larger 345 kV transmission line that kind of runs north-south, but it's about 45 years old, and so it's just outused its kind of capacity and life.
Okay.
Originally installed in 1986, so right at that 40-year mark. Any other questions on that one? Number 4, I've got the Bastrop Colony Substation Addition. This will construct a new 138 kilovolt load-serving substation in Bastrop County to serve the existing and growing Blue Bonnet Electric cooperative load in the area. It's be located west of Bastrop, just off Highway 71, and will consist of installing circuit breakers, switches, other equipment necessary to interconnect to the Bastrop West to Blue Bonnet transmission line. Recommended project completion date is December 31st of 2027 with an estimated cost of $19.7 million. Next up, I've got the Benedum Substation Property Acquisition. And this project will acquire the necessary real estate ahead of a planned substation expansion at the existing Benedum Substation. Expect to complete that follow-on work, should this be approved, in that subsequent project sometime in the winter of 2028. And this substation is located in Upton County, pretty well west of San Angelo, just east of Crane. I hate to say in the middle of nowhere, but there's not a whole lot more around it. And this will build a future 345 kilovolt substation yard that will interconnect to the soon-to-be completed Bearcat to McCamey 345 kilovolt line. And when I say soon-to-be completed in the next 7 to 10 days, we're targeting, I think, end of June 25th-ish to finish that work. And this would follow on from that to provide additional load-serving capability in the area. Recommended completion date for this project, though, to acquire that real estate is October 15th of 2027 with an estimated cost of $1.6 million. Next up, I've got Howard Lane to Wells Branch transmission line upgrade, and this will increase the capacity of a roughly 1 mile section of 138 kilovolt transmission line between Howard Lane and Wells Branch substations in Travis County. This is just east of Mopac, between Wells Branch Parkway and Howard Lane. Very uniquely named substations in that part of the world. This will involve upgrading existing conductor structures, OPGW or fiber, as well as related equipment at each of those two endpoint substations. Recommended completion date here is May 15th of 2027 with an estimated cost of $9.7 million. Seventh, got Manor Circuit Breaker addition. This will install a new circuit breaker at the existing Manor substation, which is located in Travis County, east of Highway 130, just off Highway 290. This will allow Blue Bonnet Electric Cooperative to install additional power transformer and interconnect there at that station. This will be the circuit breaker and the necessary equipment, switches, et cetera, at that substation to allow Blue Bonnet to interconnect there. Of course, that's to serve the continually growing Blue Bonnet Electric Cooperative load. Recommended completion date is May 15th of 2027 with an estimated cost of $3.6 million. Next up, I've got the Pine Path Substation Addition Project. This will construct a new 138 kilovolt substation in Bastrop County to serve existing and growing Blue Bonnet Electric Cooperative load. This is sites east of Lake Bastrop, north of Highway 21, and that general area. This will install the necessary circuit breakers, switches, and other equipment necessary to interconnect to the Butler to Sim Gideon transmission line, which runs adjacent to the property. Recommended completion date here is December 31st of 2027, an estimated cost of $12.4 million. Finally, we have our Transmission Services Corporation FY 2027 General Additions Project. This is an annual authorization for a budget to fund required but unknown system needs for efforts that are less than $500,000. This will consist of be driven by increased loads, reliability upgrades, customer requests, and changing system needs. Can also include an easement enhancement efforts as long as they're below that $500,000 threshold. This past fiscal year that we're wrapping up, we had over 60 individual and discrete projects that came from this funding authorization. Each of those goes through its own level of approval, ultimately having to be approved by me. So while you authorize this fund, we still have a pretty robust process for each of the pieces of effort that follow on from that. As an annual fund, the recommended completion date will be June 30th of 2027, next summer, an estimated cost of $9 million.
How much did we spend last year?
Our current forecast is $3,000 less than our $9 million budget, so we're spending right up to the threshold.
Sounds good. Any other comments or questions on these 9 items? I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Cole. Appreciate you. Okay, we're moving on to item 7. Approve the LCRA Transmission Services Corporation transmission contract refunding revenue bonds issuance and 52nd supplemental resolution. Mr. David Smith, don't tell me you want money too.
Yeah, no, if you enjoyed everything Josh presented, now it's time to pay for it.
Okay,
So,
pay attention, Bobby.
I'm listening.
so this is an agenda item asking for your approval to issue up to $500 million of transmission bonds. This is laid out as part of our FY27 proposed business plan you approved, that it contemplated spending about $1.4 billion of transmission debt over FY27. So this is in line with that and in line with what we discussed in the May Finance Committee. So bringing this to you to ask for your approval, we'll use this to refund short-term debt that we've already issued on spending that's already happening, plus potentially creating a construction fund to spend down a little bit. So, well, in our plan, asking for approval. Any questions?
Questions or comments? Yes, you did a great job. We reviewed this in the Finance Committee. Bobby?
Mr. Chairman, I don't know how good this will look if I make a motion from 1,000 miles away.
Well, nobody has, this is a pretty big amount. I'm not sure. I just want to
You're
make
the only
sure.
one that can handle it.
Yeah. Anyway, do I hear a motion from somebody else? Second. All right. Further questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Thank you, David. Okay, we do have a need for executive session. Is that correct? Are we going to stay in here? Okay, well, if that's the case, I would ask for the staff and the guests to be excused while we go into the LCRA TSC board goes into the executive session. Okay, we're still recording. We will now go into executive session of the LCRA TSC Board of Directors pursuant to sections 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, 551.076, 551.086, 551.089, and 418.183F of the Texas Government Code. Today's date is Wednesday, June 17th, 2026. And the time is 12:03. Is anybody in there?
There we go. Okay.
Okay, there we go. Thought we need a little Pink Floyd. We have concluded the executive session of the LCRA TSC Board of Directors. Now return to open session. Today's date is Wednesday, June 17th, 2026, and the time is 12:45. Are there any other items to come before this board today? Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned at 12:45.